What a terrible, terrible set of movies.
Oh yeah, Divergent. Yeah, I think they divert. I mean, I was gonna
They
make a
stopped.
diverged.
They literally stopped making them because they were so bad and nobody wanted to watch them.
Right, they weren't like done making them, or they weren't supposed to be done, were they? And then,
No, they
but
weren't.
they were just done. Though
They had
everybody
to.
else was done with it.
Yeah, because it wasn't doing great.
Wasn't Naomi
Shailene Woodley.
Watson, Shailene Woodley, Naomi Watts,
Was it Naomi Watts? I thought it was it Naomi Watts?
or Kate Winslet? I think it was Kate Winslet.
I truthfully can't remember.
Yeah, I'm not gonna Google it to fact check, but I want to just like speculate and conjecture.
It was Carrot Top.
It was Carrot Top. it was Kate Winslet as Carrot Top as whatever character she was playing.
Yeah, exactly. No, it was Carrot Top as Kate Winslet as
Oh
whatever character.
right. Yeah. Carrot Top
That's,
looks crazy.
you know,
Is
I
it-
would
yeah.
I would probably hang out with Carrot Top. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
But I
Yeah.
don't know much about Carrot Top, so maybe I wouldn't.
Did Chelsea Handler write jokes for him and have a thing with him? Because I
Uh,
remember reading her book, Are You There, Vodka? It's Me,
yeah,
Chelsea.
John, it's so
And
weird you bring this up.
she doesn't say that it's Carrot Top, but she describes the person she wrote jokes for briefly and how they had like a fling. And she
John,
describes him as having crazy red hair.
it's probably Carrot Top. I wouldn't be shocked. I wouldn't be shocked or surprised. Um, it's Danny Bonaducci. That
Uh,
guy does a million setups a day. Have you ever seen his abs?
which one, Carrot Top or Danny
No, well,
Bonaducci?
both Danny Bonaducci.
Is Danny? He's had a long time run with abs
He's
and
his,
having them.
but I once again I don't know anything about him, so I'm just speaking out of my
Is
ass
he an
over here.
actor? I know the
He
name
was
and I
at
know
he was
I
in
know
the
the physique.
I do believe, correct me if I'm wrong.
Hmm.
I think he was in the Partridge Family, but I cannot
Ooh,
for the
back in the
life of me
day.
remember.
What does he do now?
It's sit-ups.
Right, for a living.
Sit-ups. I actually don't know. I don't keep tabs on him. I don't follow him. I just remember one time when I was working out, because I don't do that anymore. I remember people were, or not people, he was talking about his workout routine and how many sit-ups. His freaking abs are ridiculous.
Yeah, they're also the abs are made in the kitchen,
They
as they
are made in
say.
they are made in the kitchen.
Yeah, unfortunately, because I do love food
I mean,
and I love to eat food.
food's so good. It's so good.
Food's so good. That's funny. Wait, hold on a
Speaking of
second. I think
food,
I have
I think we're gonna go get pierogies later today.
pierogies.
Yeah. So
Wow.
yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna do one thing 1 second.
Yeah.
I'm gonna disconnect this and then I'm going to
Reconnect it.
do that.
Mm.
This is gonna be
Oh,
edited
hi
out.
everyone. Welcome to Mean Girls Interrupted. Oh, we're gonna edit. Okay, good.
Okay,
Edit that too. I'm so sorry.
that
Ooh.
stays.
Oh wow.
Cool.
Pungent.
Pungent. I'm getting a little bit
That's my drag queen name. Pungent.
I'm getting a little crackly, staticky haziness on my end, but fuck
You
it.
are?
Yeah.
I don't hear anything truthfully. I hear nothing. I know that sucks on your end. Just
It's probably going to come out fine in the wash, but everybody at home, give us some feedback. If you hear a crazy,
feedback.
crackly feedback, then just definitely write us a review and rate us on Apple Podcasts or wherever you listen to your
wherever you get
pods.
Our call to action's very tired today. No, really. So, hi, welcome to Mean Girls Interrupted, the only movie review podcast. And when we say that,
in the world,
there isn't another.
There is nothing like us, and there never will be because that hasn't been invented yet. Movie review podcast is not a thing.
No, it's just us. It's just two queens
who are watching movies
together,
not
from a distance.
Yeah, not live, but
no,
Or together, right? And
so everything I said was a lie.
But we did watch a movie this week.
That's not a lie.
We're going to talk about it.
We are going to talk about it. John, what movie did we watch?
Showgirls.
We did watch Showgirls.
We did watch Showgirls.
This was my first time watching Showgirls.
This is my first time watching it all the way through. In the past, I've definitely watched it up until a certain point and maybe fell asleep or changed the channel or turned it off or something. But this is the first time I actually got to experience it from beginning to end.
I will say this much. I remember starting this movie and I thought I got 5 minutes in. I realized after watching the whole thing that when I turned it off the first time I started watching this movie, it was probably about at most 2 minutes into the movie.
Yeah, that similar experience. I was like, well, this must be like the halfway point. And then I paused it and it was like 20 minutes in.
Yeah, no.
And I was like, what? This is crazy.
So this is a long movie.
It's like over 2 hours.
It is over 2 hours. I didn't realize, but I mean, just like our last movie that we watched. Which one was it? What did we do last? I honestly think it's a race. Face Off.
Face Off, yes. Something that we should always. That's a movie that our trauma response is to forget.
I think they have a similar runtime, but I'm gonna say the exact same thing that I did about the last one.
Yeah.
Pacing.
A thing that should matter.
The pacing in Showgirls kept me watching.
Yeah, I mean, it does move from one scene to the next very quickly, I would say.
Sometimes abruptly.
She's always moving. She's always running. She's always yelling. She's always upset.
She's always dancing, though.
Always very.
One thing.
She's very dancing.
One thing about Nomi is she is always dancing.
Even when she doesn't have to.
No, because guess what? She's a professional, darling.
She's a professional, darling. So if you don't know, Showgirls is a movie that released in 1995.
Yeah, I have something that I'm going to say for the end, and I might need you to teach me how to bleep this out because this could be a moneymaker for us. And I'm not joking. This could work.
Okay, cool. This could involve us dancing for money?
No, absolutely not. I can't dance, John. Have you ever seen me?
I've seen you, but I haven't seen you dance.
Yes, but have you ever noticed how I walk?
You're graceful.
I don't know about that.
You're like a giraffe.
I was gonna say,
or a gazelle.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with. Do you know? Have you ever seen a giraffe being born?
I just imagined it. Does that count?
They fall 6 feet because the mom don't crouch.
They're just
the baby falls to the ground. Its first introduction to the world is
a crash landing. No wonder they're so stupid. I'm just kidding.
They're so cute though. I love a giraffe. They're so cute. Anyway, we're not talking about giraffes.
Also, we are talking about a giraffe because fucking Elizabeth
Berkley is tall and let me tell you this, everyone. I'm going to say this right up top. I'm going to say this up top. Body, legs, gorgeous. She is literally so. I watching this movie, I was like, I get it. If I had that body, I would have worn no clothes in this movie as well.
Oh yeah, and that's not an exaggeration either for those.
No, listening. She literally never wears clothes.
She's at points wearing zero things.
There is nothing on.
There's nothing. There's so yeah, she is amazing. She is Elizabeth Berkley of obviously Saved by the Bell fame. She if we just want to talk about it, so I mean, yeah, she stars in this movie. She is Nomi Malone. Is it Nomi Malone or is it Nomi Maloney?
It's Nomi Malone. It is Nomi Malone, but honestly, I really like that name, Nomi Malone. It works.
Right. And obviously we find out that she it's not her true name.
which we will get to.
Yeah. And this
She
also stars
she has a
Kyle.
past.
Yes. And she nobody really knows Elizabeth Berkley, and she doesn't even really know herself either.
No, Nomi's just barely finding herself.
Yeah. So it also stars Kyle MacLachlan, who is of Twin Peaks fame.
Okay.
Gina Gershon,
Of course, we just
as
spoke of Gina
she
Gershon,
was
who
in Face Off.
and who for all of you out there who have played the Badlands video games, you're going to be excited
Yeah, she's
because
gonna be in it.
Eli Roth, who I personally love,
You've always
is
loved Eli Roth.
also he is
Yep, I knew it. Yeah.
there. Oof.
Was it
He did.
Inglorious Bastards?
No.
Whenever that feeling was awakened, or
Well, yes, but also my first introduction to him was, I think, a lot of people Hostel,
oh
which
right,
really brought him to the forefront.
it really did. It really
I
did.
think it really brought him to the forefront. But seeing him in Inglorious Bastards, I was like, oh my
You're like,
goodness.
that's it for me.
I'm like, it's over. It's over. No, so back to Gina Gershon. She will be in Badlands, everyone. Or
Nice.
is it Badlands? It is.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
So with Jamie Lee Curtis.
Borderlands.
I'm so bad. Into the Badlands was a show on FX that didn't have any guns, but it was all melee weapons, and it was so amazing, and it got canceled way too soon. Anyway,
Yes,
back to Gina Gershon.
That's Crystal Connors.
That's Crystal Connors.
Yeah,
which also hot stripper name.
Yeah, and I like how they intentionally sound like fake, obviously fake names, because
I enjoy it.
Yeah. And that's basically the only people you really need to know about in this movie, because this was directed by Paul Verhoeven.
Did he not do my favorite movie of all time,
Starship Troopers?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, he did.
That's not an exaggeration, everybody. I fully love Starship Troopers, and
Starship Troopers is good.
It's honestly one of my favorite movies. It is.
And yeah, he's a great filmmaker. I would argue that he is an auteur in his own right.
I'm not going to disagree, because truthfully,
yeah, he also did RoboCop.
Right, he did RoboCop, which, hello everyone, RoboCop,
which also has a similar Paul Verhoeven flair to it.
I don't think there's anything he does that doesn't have his flair. It's just it's just apparent. A flarent, sorry.
Yeah, exactly. That was really good. So he did another one. Let's see it. Another really notable one. What is it? Oh god. Oh, he
Ratatouille.
He did Ratatouille. Oh, Total Recall. Right.
Yes,
right.
Total Recall, which holy everyone,
I totally recall that movie.
Yeah, I totally do too.
Yeah, which also has a similar Paul Verhoeven feel.
Total Recall is amazing.
Total Recall is amazing.
Total Recall is actually amazing.
I remember watching it whenever I was a kid, and I was like, whoa, this is like a little edgy to be like a high flying action film in the 90s.
I thought so. Well, no, I'm not actually sure what I thought, because I was crying at ants dying and Honey, I Shrunk the Kid. I probably wasn't thinking much. There wasn't a lot going on.
Well, it has a really iconic scene with Sharon Stone in there.
It has a lot of yes, it does. Which, dude, you want to know what? I'll get into this. I hate that Hollywood wants, and what the audience wants is nudity and sex and all of these things. But
he delivers it. That's for sure. He does.
But the people who are presenting it are vilified.
The actresses.
And I don't think that's okay, because it's
no, it's not.
No, because you need to back these people up. It's not our right to offer these things to audiences who then rip people apart, which gets me to my point. I truly think Elizabeth Berkley was really screwed over.
Oh, in the media for sure. But can we just before we do that,
we will.
So right before Showgirls, about 3 years before it was released, Basic Instinct, directed by Paul Verhoeven, was preceded this film, Showgirls.
Yeah.
And so that was obviously similarly sensational, I would say,
I
caused a stir.
well, yeah, naturally.
Yeah, and Sharon Stone in her very much iconic crossing her legs and flashing everyone. Um, uh, she was also sort of like tainted after that. No
She
pun
was.
intended.
No, she was, and that's my point. Is like Sharon Stone. The thing is like I'm not even sure if that cut was supposed to be in there, and they left it in anyway because I think I remember Sharon Stone talking about it.
Oh, that was
Like,
completely intentional. What are you talking about?
well, maybe I'm gonna have to go back. I swear to you, I swear.
Yeah, she might have just been saying that to say it, you know.
You think so? But why? But I mean, why after all this time?
She
Own it.
she like
Own
really
it because I thought it was
the media, the 1990s, women like being empowered and showing their bodies off on film, like, and also they're exploring a theme there, like in both of these movies, where these are women who are sort of exploiting the male fixation on them for to gain their own power in their situation.
which I mean, truthfully, and guess what? It backfires in real life, which is
Yeah,
insane.
because this I mean, this is hugely a theme in Showgirls as well.
It
It's
is.
utilizing your sexuality for power,
Right. It is.
and also like, and how that can really throw you down the
A set
wrong
of
path in
stairs.
life
Oh,
and
I thought
down
you
a
were gonna
set of
say
stairs
it's down. I
apparently.
thought you were gonna say down a set of stairs.
Which poor Gina
Crystal.
Gershon.
Poor Crystal.
But she did have it coming. Crystal Connors did have it coming.
As they say in Chicago,
Yeah,
she had it coming.
exactly. So yeah, but I know like there's a ref with The Idol on HBO right
Oh,
now.
I
Like,
haven't watched it.
yeah, but I mean, they're on the record like they drew inspiration from Paul Verhoeven movies.
Did
Um,
they?
yeah, like Basic Instinct and Showgirls, and the way they depict like sexual power and things like that.
Do I need to watch this now?
I think you should, because if after watching Showgirls, it makes so much more sense to me, like why there were certain choices for like style
I gotcha.
um
Okay.
and tone, I would
Okay.
say.
I think I will.
It comes through, not as good as Showgirls, obviously, but like it
Okay.
does come, the influence is there. But also, I mean, Lily Rose Depp, it like came under fire for the choices she made to do in there. And watching it, I'm like, yeah, it's super explicit. And she's like naked the entire time, basically. And like, but I really um I was like, work. You know what I mean? I was like,
I,
get it.
right. Okay. So here's the thing. I'm so glad that it took me so long to watch Showgirls because I have my own opinions on this.
Yeah.
Like they are mixed, but we're not going to do our review yet.
Okay. Okay.
But
Okay.
I say this, what really bothers me is one of the main actors in this movie, the one who is dating Gina Gershon and also Nomi
Yeah,
at the basically at the
that's
same time.
Kyle MacLachlan.
Okay, I couldn't remember his
The
name.
entertainment director at the the casino in Vegas. What's that casino again?
Oh, this
It's not there
this
anymore, but it used to be.
yes. Oh God, why can't I remember the name?
uh,
Let's just call it like the Sparkler or something. It has a
yeah.
name similar to the Sparkler.
The Roman candle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Roman candle.
Yeah. Yeah, what
Oh,
were you gonna say?
I was gonna say he's been in multiple things after all of these movies he's done. And
Yeah.
what sucks is
He's had a very untainted career.
right. And the other people, not so
Mhm.
much.
And even Paul Verhoeven was basically unscathed
It's a
because
double standard. It's a
he went
really
on to
shitty double
do,
standard.
yeah, he went on to get like this on to Starship Troopers, and he's still like regarded, he is a highly lauded director, and rightly so, obviously.
Right.
But Elizabeth Berkley, like her career tanked after this.
Which I really don't think is fair at all. I don't
No,
think it's fair at all, dude. She got
no.
shafted in every sense.
Yes, she did.
So
Yes, she did.
I don't really think it's okay.
It's not
It
cool.
bothers me.
She was I was reading before this because I was like I wanted to see some of the details of like the backlash of what she actually faced during in the time. She was dropped by her agent after it.
Her, I'm
Yeah,
that is so crazy because guess who probably was the one who introduced her to the role?
her agent.
Right. Do you know
Yeah.
how messed up that is?
Right, because it's Paul Verhoeven. At this point, he had done Basic Instinct, which was it was a highly regarded film. It did well at the box office. He did RoboCop. He did
He's
um
done all of these things.
yeah, and so this was like to pick Elizabeth Berkley at the time, who was just she was 21 whenever she filmed it. By the way, she does not
You
look
would
21. She looks so much older. For not in a bad way, but she looks so much way more mature. She looks like pushing 30 or something like that, but she just has like a maturity about her and the way she carries herself. You know what I
well,
mean?
and I
Like
think
that level of confidence that she's acting. I don't know if it's acting or if Elizabeth Berkley just has that confidence that her character has, but she has it.
probably both. I mean, I would say you'd have to have the confidence to do this movie because you are bearing everything.
Yeah. I
You have to
mean,
have but with that body and that face, dude, like, and them legs,
yeah.
dude, they couldn't have picked a better person. But it really sucks because for her, she's probably like, it's probably her biggest regret because I could have actually seen her. She could have she really probably could have gone far had she chosen a different role to separate herself from Saved by the Bell.
Yeah. And maybe I don't know. I mean, she was 21. She was probably just trying to figure out like her own artistic voice in some way. But I think like in hindsight, I think it's an amazing choice.
Me too. I
Yeah.
I do too. I don't
Like
think I wouldn't want anybody else in the role than her.
right.
I wouldn't, and that sucks because like her career was absolutely destroyed, which is so unfair. But like, I'm not gonna lie, this was an experience. This movie is an actual experience.
Yeah, at first, whenever because we open up the film, like
Do we
it's
want to? Should we do a quick breakdown
yeah,
and
we'll
then
do a
we'll
little
get
quick
into it?
one because it starts off with Elizabeth Berkley. She's like looks like she's in Colorado on like some rural street.
Her fashion. Okay, the moments
Yeah,
when I will say this: when the characters in this movie are wearing clothing, spot on. Wardrobe department,
yeah.
every note.
I think every department hit every note, but yeah, the costumes were
The
really good.
costumes were incredible,
Because
and
there's a shirt that she's wearing at the end where it's like this sort of a tiger print like
yes,
blouse, but it's not. It's like vinyl or something.
it's like a corset.
It's like a plasticky shirt blouse that she's wearing whenever she goes to the hospital to visit Gina Gershon.
Yes,
And I was like,
I
whoa,
I love.
is that Versace?
Is that Versace? It's
Like
Versace, girl. It's Versace.
it's Versace.
Also, speaking of little dresses,
Yeah.
there's a theme. Basic Instinct, little white dress. This one, little black
Oh,
dress. Both super form fitting, both kind of a hot topic.
yeah, for sure, for sure. Because so she is walking, she's hitchhiking on the
She
highway.
is. She's not the one to hitchhike.
No, but she gets picked up by this guy in a truck and he seems to be nice and kind to her. She has a suitcase.
Mm-hmm.
She just has her it's just her and her suitcase. She he asks her like where she's from and she's like different places.
Yeah, me and my suitcase, a memoir.
Yeah, so that her response is she never really tells the truth at all basically.
Well,
She's very mysterious.
her response is to immediately pull out a switchblade.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, so he takes her to Las Vegas where he was going anyway, and she's just
Uh-huh.
like, I'll go there, I guess. And so she um they pull into a casino and they're like, "Oh, let's have some fun." And she's having fun with this guy. And she gets held up at this slot machine where she wins a little jackpot
She does.
and then she immediately loses everything.
Yeah, she loses it
As you
all.
do.
Which I mean, talk about foreshadowing.
Very true. They basically tell the story of her journey throughout this movie with this slot machine.
Within the first 10 minutes in the slot machine. It's like pretty subtle, but to me it actually rings true for the movie.
Right, because she's like on top and then she loses everything and she has to walk away.
Yeah.
And so she's like, wait, how long have I been here? And she goes out to the parking lot and the truck is gone. She's been abandoned.
She's been had, and her suitcase, which was in there, is also gone. She has nothing.
Yeah, but who swoops in immediately
Her
is
bestie.
her new best friend. Before they even meet, this girl is like, "Oh, you're my best friend now. Come live with me." And her name is let's see here. Oh, what was her name? Molly?
Yeah, yeah, Molly, wasn't
Yeah.
it?
Yeah, so Molly Abrams played by Gina Rivera and
Can I
uh
tell you that I love her so much? And
she was good.
her character felt the most real.
But yeah, most authentic. Like she was doing the intended style of Paul Verhoeven, but like giving her own
I think
taste to it. So
I
it
think
kind of
she
like
did a great job.
grounded it, I think, a little
I was
more.
gonna say that she has a very grounded character.
Yeah, but it still fits within this world that
It does.
which is like at this point, it's like we're like 2 minutes in and the world has been established as like then the tone obviously too.
Fast paced,
Fast paced,
chaotic.
quick. Uh Also the acting style is a little larger than life, I would say.
I'd say in moments it is, but I did notice that there were times in this movie where it seems very like I'm like, oh, this is right. Like this feels right.
Yeah, it does. It's an intentional directing choice to have the acting style like this sort of way. And so
This this is camp.
it is camp.
This is camp.
It is camp.
And I don't throw that word. You already know. You know very well that I don't throw that word around loosely.
Right. Because not only is it's everything is a very earnest choice. This is not a comedy by any means or any stretch of the
No, it's
imagination.
actually called a drama. This
It's
is not a comedy.
no, but I mean there are exaggerations that could be laughable or elicit a laugh or something like that, but then you're like then you step back and you're like, oh no, this is still really earnest. This
I
is
screenshotted one of those moments, just FYI, and it's going on our
I hope
Instagram.
I hope it's the one that I'm thinking of.
It probably is. I'll text it to you and I'll let you. No, 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 no. We're not going
yeah.
to say it. You'll see on the Instagram feed because I screenshotted this moment and I was like, is this real? I was like,
Yeah.
I can't believe this is real.
Yeah, it has to be the same moment because I looked over at
It's
Redacted and I was
so,
just like,
John, it's
what's
actually,
going on here?
I hope it's the same one, but it's so funny. John, I was actually stifling my laughter in my bed because I was watching this by myself. And I was like, I can't believe that
It's like
these words.
you think one thing's gonna happen, and you think it's gonna go a certain way, but then it goes an entirely different direction. You're like, you know what? I would never have guessed that was gonna happen like this.
John, this has one of, I think this movie
Yeah.
could easily be one of the most quotable movies, but accidentally.
Yeah, I don't know if it's an accident. To be honest, I don't know if it's an accident at all.
It's actually,
I
there
think
are so
everything.
many.
I think everything in this movie was completely 100% intentional.
John, that just makes it so much better for me. I'm actually getting goosebumps because when I think about this, this movie's crazy.
Yeah, but we do get into some like so she immediately goes to work at Cheetahs.
I love the name Cheetahs.
Cheetahs, there's a Cheetahs. I don't know, it's not obviously not in the same franchise, but there's a Cheetahs on Sunset here.
John, I
It's
love the name Cheetahs for a strip club.
yeah, it's one of those strip clubs that has like one of those old like 1980s or 70s like plastic signs that are like embossed with like an image and there's like a
Yes.
sodium vapor yellow light inside.
Yeah, and the sun has made it yellow from all
Yeah.
of the years it's been outside. It's cracking.
Right. And you never see the front door open and close and there's no windows.
No, well, there can't be windows, not at those types of clubs.
No. Yeah, it's similar. It has a similar feeling to Band-Aids in Phoenix.
Oh, God, I completely forgot. There's a strip
I have
club called
not.
Band-Aids.
I have not. That was like I've never been inside, but that was like a type where people were milling about outside, and some of the girls would mill about outside, like on the weekends. And I'm like,
Uh,
whoa, Band-Aids is the
yeah,
right
no.
name for this establishment.
Yeah,
So
well,
yeah. So she
next
goes
to
to
where I
work.
used to work, there was one called Bones. Guys, in the
Bones.
comments down below, email us what's the craziest strip club name that you have within your city or vicinity or one you've been to. I want to know.
Jumbo's Clown Room. There's one on Hollywood Boulevard called Jumbo's Clown Room. I lived like 1 block away from it in a rat infested studio.
Jumbo's Clown Room.
Yeah. And so whenever Redact and I would walk around at nighttime sometimes, we would pass by Jumbo's Clown Room whenever it was like 11 or 30 at night. And
And Jumbo's outside.
Exactly. And then there's a Thai restaurant right. It's like in a little mall right next door to it, and they have like full open windows. And one night we went by, and the girls in their bikini tops were sitting in a booth counting dollar bills.
That sounds amazing.
A lot of them. I'm like,
John, that sounds amazing, actually.
yeah.
Good for them. Fucking work, dude. Get your money and get your Thai food. That's a great, John. That
right?
business is so smart.
Thai food right next to a Jumbo's Clown Room is so brilliant.
Right next to a strip club because they're getting drunk and people are going to get hungry. They're going to go for Thai food unless you're a strip club that does have a buffet, which is so
they
weird.
do have those, yeah.
Which is
they do
so
have those.
Weird.
It's very weird. Unsanitary, I would say.
No, there's not one part. I already hate buffets. Disgusting.
Also, I'm not like, hey, I'm horny and hungry.
Some people are horny and hungry.
Obviously.
Not me.
But they're definitely horny and hungry at Cheetos.
Those are two different things for me.
Yeah, it's almost like it doesn't jive with the other.
No, they did not for me, but good for you. All of you out there who love nachos on a dick, like good for you. Sorry, we're gonna have to bleep that out.
No, I won't. I shan't. But at Cheetah's, Elizabeth Berkley Nomi, she rises to prominence very quickly because she is a dancer. She dances. She thinks she doesn't really discern between stripping and dancing. There's not a line between the two for her.
They're the same thing. There is no classical. There is no ballet. Yeah. It is all the same.
In her brain, it doesn't compute whether she has clothes on or not. It doesn't. It's all the same to her. And
well, good. I get it.
Yeah, and so that works to her advantage because she has zero shame. In fact, she loves having good tits, as she says.
She has the most gorgeous body, dude.
It's amazing. And so Gina Gershon. Oh wait, no. She goes to this like Is it Starlight Hotel Casino?
Starlight.
I want to say it's Starlight.
Stardust.
Is
it Stardust?
It's Stardust for sure.
I knew it was something like Sparkler.
Yes. With Stardust and Sparklers are
the same. They are the same thing.
And so she actually goes and witnesses this show that her best friend does like the hair and makeup for.
Yeah.
It's the Showgirls, and she gets to sit and see the show once, and she sees the glory of Gina Gershon, who is the star and the diva of the show, which is like very dancey, acrobatic, and fully nude. And apparently they used to have shows like this.
I mean, I'm not actually shocked or surprised. But what's crazy to me is they don't have them now. Why? Like Las Vegas is the city of sin. Why take that away?
I think it's all about like Adele, like big name, like Usher, Residency.
Well, then they can take
Celine
their titties
Dion.
out. Take your titties out. Usher, you do.
Yeah, Adele, please get with the program. And so, could you imagine?
That'd be so. I'd buy a ticket.
Like the casino like forces her to do it.
No, there's no force. It has to be consensual.
Yeah. So anyway, so it's all fully nude, just dancing and whatever and whatnot. And she's like, I want to do that. And but she's over at Cheetah's. But Gina Gershon and the entertainment director Kyle MacLachlan, they come to Cheetah's.
They do, and they're
Have a good
doing
old time.
fat lines of cocaine,
Huge open lines of cocaine
just
everywhere.
out, just right out on the street.
Yeah, and like drinking Cristal or
Yeah,
Crystal. It's always pronounced Crystal in this movie, which
which
is
I also,
weird.
I was like, excuse me, Crystal, and
I'm like,
I
wait,
know that was a
she's
choice
like,
they made.
yeah, I was like, wait, she named herself after Crystal, but calls it Crystal. I don't
It's
know.
just like Versailles, dude, because I think what they're
Yeah,
trying to do is tell you that
they're of not of they have the same background.
they come from a lower tier in
Yeah,
the
because
caste system that is America that people pretend doesn't exist.
exactly. So yeah, so she and Kyle MacLachlan, they see Crystal Connors, not Crystal Connors, sorry.
Christelle Connors.
They see Elizabeth Berkley like doing her thing and they are mesmerized by her.
They are.
And they ask for a private dance, which
Yes, private.
escalates very quickly.
It is.
It's
It is very. This scene is.
I would say, how would you describe this scene, this private dance scene?
Okay, how many words do I have to describe it?
One.
I have one word to describe it. Um, hmm, electrifying.
Definitely electrifying.
Electrifying, because I'm not going to say something rude.
No. I would call it climactic.
That is definitely a word to use as well.
She lap dances Kyle MacLachlan to the finish line.
All the way. She said, honey, she said, you can call me that one famous horse's name.
Mr.
Right?
Ed.
Yeah.
So so he totally jizzes in his pants and gets out of there. But like
How
Gina,
embarrassing.
he doesn't seem that embarrassed.
John, I would be covering right up, but Gina Gershon was living for that moment.
Gina Gershon was just watching.
She didn't even have to be
chucking hard.
Right. She was cucking hard. She was cucking hard, everyone.
Buck if you cuck.
Cuck if you buck, girl. And she was, dude, Nomi was bucking.
Gyrating. She was gyrating. Was it genuflexing?
She was
gynaflexing.
She was doing everything.
Genuflexing.
And more. Genuflex.
Yeah. She was going hard and she basically won the audition.
So for her doing that, right? She barely even had to do anything.
Yeah,
except for her job, and she made $500.
She made $500.
John, $500 in the 90s. That's a lot of money. That is so much money. I would have
rolling in it,
John. I would have right there. Yep. Be like, you know what? I work here now.
Yeah,
I would have threw on a wig.
I'm never putting on my clothes ever again.
No, right? Why would you leave that?
I don't know. But so she is indoctrinated into this world of showgirls, but she does have to audition.
Yes,
and she's invited to the venue and to the stage, and she is. I love this audition scene.
Me as well.
So much.
It's great. I think it's great.
Yeah, there's a couple of them, but there's one in particular where she is dancing so hard and sweating so much, and like the choreographer, it's so like the scene is so amazing and iconic, and I think everybody knows what it is.
Yes, but also is it the scene where she's like basically doing like jazzercise and she is doing the hip thrusts? It awoke something in me. I was like, this is so incredible.
Yeah, like it's like the energy of the scene is insane.
So incredible.
The other dancers, there's like stakes and pressure, and the choreographer is just like, put your arm higher, not that high, and then like they're like, ka. Do
you want to know what this movie is before the movie came out? Save the Last Dance.
Definitely.
This is Save the Last Dance, but like Save the Last Dance should have never
but on
tried.
cocaine, I would say.
Oh, it is on cocaine. It is on some uppers.
Yeah, for sure. This is yeah. And so she she's like, did I do good? And she's like, yeah, you did great. And she's like, when do I start? And he's like, you go on tonight. And
And she's living.
she's like, okay,
She's like, cool, I got this.
bring it. So she is thrust into like the dressing room, which is like this
Thrust. That's a good word to use.
She's thrown into it. She's thrust into this world of showgirls, and it's like feverish. There's chimpanzees around.
There's cattiness. There's so much cattiness in the
There's
background.
children, weirdly enough, and also they're
very
I'm
weird.
like, get these things out of here. And
they're
then
like, no, they're not supposed to be here. I'm sorry.
as soon as I was like, get those children out of here, that actress like turns around. She's like, get these children out of here. And I was like,
I
yes.
loved her energy. She is everyone who's like, take your screaming, nasty, sticky children. Yeah. Also, why are they there? Literally everyone in that room is topless.
They do not belong here.
They're all topless.
I want to do a Where Are They Now with those little actor children. It's like they were filming around boobs.
They're both working at Cheetahs now.
Yeah, for sure.
They both work at Cheetahs.
Yeah, they probably like died of an overdose somewhere.
Behind Cheetahs.
Behind Cheetahs. They overdosed on Cheetos behind Cheetos.
Yes, behind Cheetahs.
So, yeah, so she's her dream is coming true,
right?
And the stakes couldn't be higher for her because she barely knows these dance moves, but she goes out on that stage and she works it so hard. She falls once, but she recovers quickly and
gracefully, even
gracefully, yes. And so she gets off that stage and she has her best friend there, and she is just like, "Ooh, my life is happening and it's great," and blah blah blah. But Gina Gershon, she has a thing for Nomi, and
which I love that.
Yeah, she sees a lot of herself in Nomi, and she
can also see herself in her if only she can get the opportunity.
Right, and she's really pushing for that opportunity.
She wants it
really,
bad.
Really hard,
I get it though. I mean, that body.
Body. So she befriends, quote unquote,
frenemies.
Nomi.
They are frenemies
for sure. So she invites her to lunch and like to this fancy little place, and
they talk about dog food and liking dog food. Can I just say, I love this, but can I just say that I have actually tried a box of dog treats because I wanted to see if each color had a different flavor. So I took them. They don't actually. They literally, I don't even know why they're colored. There was a green one, a brown one, a red one, and a tan one. And I was like, let's see how these go. So I did a nibble, and they were shaped like little doggy bones, dog biscuits. So I did I'm like, why do dogs go ham for these? Because they don't taste like ham. But they all taste the same, and they all just taste like grain. They just taste like grain.
Right. But yes, thank you for that context.
I had to give you all of that because, like these two girls, I also grew up on the lower side.
Me
and
too.
I have eaten dog food.
Yeah, but I mean, I have tried bacon bits because I was like, these commercials are really selling it as bacon, and
never tried those.
The bacon strips, right? And I was like, these look like bacon, they smell like bacon. Are they bacon? And I tasted it. That's not bacon. It's not even. It's. I feel like it's a full gimmick just for the dog owner.
I think it's the smell.
Mm-hmm.
It's like what they've done is added a smell, but it doesn't taste like anything. I'm sure. I've never tried bacon strips, and I don't think I will.
No, but anyway,
I'm over that phase.
But I mean, I feel like if bacon strips were around whenever Crystal Connors was a child, she would full addict.
John, she would have been at the grocery store. She's one of the people who, do you know those people who go to the grocery store and they're like, well, I'm going to pay for it anyway. So they open it up and they just start snacking on the package. Super tacky. Don't fucking do that. Don't be that person in the store being like, well, I'm going to pay for it, so I'm just going to open it.
I've been in line, and the person behind me puts like an empty bag of chips on the conveyor belt, and I'm like, oh, ate that? How long have you been here?
That is crazy. It's crazy behavior. Anyway, back to Crystal Connors and her dog food situation.
Yeah, well, they get into that dog food conversation really easily. Like
they do.
No shame involved at all. And so, because Elizabeth Berkley, she's like, well, this could be dog food for all I whatever. And then Crystal Connors is like, ooh, I've eaten dog food. And she's like, you have? She's like, yeah, Doggie Chow.
Yeah, they bond over Doggie
They're
Chow,
like flirting over it. They're flirting over Doggie Chow. And she's like, I've eaten dog food too. And she's like,
they do.
I like dog food. And she's like, I liked it too.
Right.
Like, have you ever had dog food?
They saunter off back to the stage to go have a little dancing lesson.
Yeah. Oh, right. There was a moment here though where she's like, oh, I don't like champagne gives me a headache. She's like, it's not champagne, it's crystal, and I named after it.
Yeah.
And then she's like, she's like, also it's holy water. And then she splashes it in her face. And I'm like, rude.
Right. John, they're very bitchy.
Very bitchy.
But I loved it.
Yeah. So, yeah. But anyway, what happens next after this? A lot goes down that doesn't really matter.
I think we're kind of getting into the weeds of this because there's a lot that happens.
Yeah.
Let me just do a quick breakdown.
Okay.
So I'm going to do a super fast breakdown of what happens.
Do it, and then we'll talk about it.
And then we're going to talk
about scenes
because I really do want to talk about this movie more than the movie.
Yeah, exactly.
So Nomi, I'm so sorry, Nomi. Isn't Noom like a weight loss? Who cares, Ozempic? So Nomi and Gina Gershon, Crystal actually go back to the stage and they have a little dance. Crystal's trying to get in her pants and Nomi's like, absolutely not, whore. I'm out of here. And they do call each other whore a lot. That's not me saying it. So,
well, I mean, she's accusing her of being a whore and she's like,
they always do. It's so insane. Yeah. So Nomi leaves, yada yada yada. A lot of stuff happens in between this and that. It turns out that they're doing a prostitution ring, and they take Nomi to this thing where they're trying to sell her off to the highest bidder, and she's like, no. So she comes back, it gets Crystal mad. The director's lying about stuff. It's just so crazy.
Yeah. I mean, so there's a rivalry now between there's a villain. I mean, yeah, Gina Gershon's the villain, and like always trying to undermine Nomi and her rise to fame, because there can only be one Gina Gershon in this room.
There's only one Crystal.
Yeah. So, but I mean, Elizabeth Berkley is like, you know what? Everybody's telling me I'm using my sexuality for power. She's like, I'm gonna own it, and I'm gonna actually choose to do it.
Yep.
And so she's like, hey, Kyle MacLachlan, boss man, you want to hang out? And then so they definitely hang out at his place.
They do. Boy, do they ever.
And the scene is crazy.
Do you want to know what? Can I just say what's so wild to me is the way they place them. Who was doing the blocking? Because honestly, the fact they set her so far away from that stupid fish with the water coming out of its mouth and then forced her to have to go back so the water was cascading over her. John, she was being waterboarded while she was gyrating.
Yeah,
and so it was
they consummate their relationship inside of the pool, is what Travis is trying to say, but not before he comes into the pool completely naked, and then he has a bottle of Cristal, and he pours it all over her.
It's not even sexy, and I know it's supposed to be sexy.
But she's like, yeah, and I was like, rude.
Also, what a waste!
Oh wait,
what an absolute waste. I know you have money. Do not.
But you could so rude. If he didn't even ask.
No, but you know what? She was living for the moment, and I think he was recognizing this.
Yeah, and so she gyrates on top of him in a crazy way.
Oh, it is.
She's creating waves. She's making waves.
It is a one of.
Yeah,
I just don't even. It's
so ridiculous. It is ridiculous and crazy.
John, there's as much rhythm as do you remember those little sock'em rock'em robots?
Yes.
That's what it was giving.
It was giving sock'em rock'em robots.
But only because the actual motions themselves, there was no fluidity. The only fluid in that scene was the water in the pool.
Yeah. It's crazy. It's the wildest sex scene I've ever seen in my entire life.
It truly is. And this is where we get into the unhinged territory. This scene took me so far out.
I was like, wow, okay, cool, great. That's a choice.
It is a choice, and it's fine. It fits with the universe.
Yeah, and
it
the
makes
next day,
sense within this movie.
It does. I was like, okay, cool. We're still here in this world. And so she wakes up in his bed and has to like go all of a sudden. And like she is suddenly addicted to cocaine. She has a cocaine issue at this point.
Is she?
Yeah, she does cocaine.
Oh.
And that's why she's crazy throughout this day.
Dang.
Yeah.
Well, good for her.
Yeah, and so he's like, "Hey, so the understudy that broke her leg, for Gina Gershon."
We won't get into it. You guys got to watch the movie to find out.
The audition is today. You want to be there? She's like, "Yeah, awesome, great." And so she goes to this understudy audition, and Gina Gershon is not happy to see her there.
No, she doesn't like it one bit because she already knows.
Yeah,
Nomi's coming for my crown, girl.
Yeah, and they discuss it immediately right away with the bigwigs in her. They were like, she's great, she's magnetic, but not more magnetic than you, Gina Gershon.
They had to tell her that. They definitely had to stroke her ego a little bit.
Yeah, and then the casino owner turns around and is like, well, you're not getting any younger.
This movie has some body image issues.
Yeah. Because Gina Gershon looks great and she's not even that old.
She's not old at all.
She's like 31 or 32 in this movie.
Right. And her body is also super snatched. Everyone in this movie is freaking gorgeous.
I know.
Like everyone in this movie is hot.
I think that was a requirement for sure.
You had to be hot. But even the people they were calling not hot enough were literal 10s.
Yeah. I think toxicity was a theme for sure.
It's so crazy.
Yeah, so the rivalry between the two escalates.
Does it ever?
And it
also escalates. You guys, escalators are very dangerous. Look it up. Okay, back to it.
They are. Yeah, so it all culminates during one of their dance numbers, which is a BDSM dance number, and I was living for it. Their costumes,
John. Okay.
The leather and the bondage and the things, it was crazy. It was Barbarella. Okay. It was heavy metal, the cartoon heavy metal.
Do you want to know what? I swear to you, Marry the Night, the music video, Lady Gaga, had to have been inspired fully by the scene.
Absolutely.
Sean, this actual dance number was so hot, and I was like, this is amazing. I'm like, this is so incredible.
And they're fighting it out during the dance by doing dance moves at each other.
John, it's so good. This dance scene is so good for me. I was here for every moment of this.
And it was on theme. They were both struggling for power. They were fighting for the power.
John, it's cell block tango.
It was cell block tango. But Gina Gershon does trip her.
She does.
And then she basically sets Elizabeth Berkley off.
She sets the tone for what's coming next.
They are leaving stage. The number is done, and Gina Gershon's like, I win. And then they are walking down this flight of stage stairs, which are metal and very long and steep.
Aren't they like, they look like giant cheese graters?
They do. So Elizabeth Berkley, in a rage, she pushes Gina Gershon down the stairs, and in the most miraculous way, I would say. It was a kind of a very dramatic fall.
I don't know any other way to fall downstairs. I've never fallen downstairs. I'm working on. It's that death becomes her.
Yeah, exactly. We should watch that one.
Honestly, but I already love it.
Yeah.
I already love it. It's an iconic movie. You can't go wrong with Death Becomes Her.
No. So she falls down, and everybody huddles around. It's like, did anybody see it? Was she pushed? And they were like, Elizabeth, you were behind her, right? And she was like, yeah, but she just fell. And everybody believes her
Yeah,
because
well,
one girl
because
vouches
one
for
girl,
her.
and we're not getting into why, but there's a reason. And she
Yeah.
says, I saw everything. She wasn't even behind her.
Yeah. And then, but the
So
best
she's
friend
full of
knows.
lies and she has box braids.
Yeah. So she does. It's so weird.
Yeah. But I mean,
Um,
I think at the time it kind of was like, but
yeah. So she rises to fame immediately by stepping into the role.
oh, wait,
Uh,
let me backpedal. When I say box braids, I mean, they're not a bad hairstyle, but this is on a white woman. So it doesn't make sense.
right.
Anyway, back to
Context.
it.
Yeah, definitely.
Context. Have to
So
let you know.
yeah, so she does assume the star role, and she is the new it girl in town.
John,
And
she is the face.
yeah, she's on billboards. She's killing it on stage. And
She is the Black Swan. Also, I noticed there were weird posters around this, and I feel like the poster for Black Swan directly. I'll have to send you a picture. I'll find it and I'll put a side by side for
interesting.
you. Because if I
Okay,
can find it, I
cool,
was like,
cool.
it gave me Black Swan vibes. And I was like, I'm
It
like,
is a little Black Swanny.
this movie seems very influential. Just,
Yeah,
I feel like it influenced a lot of pop culture.
absolutely it did.
Okay, I'm so sorry. Let's get back
But
into me not interrupting you again.
no, I mean, like, yeah, so she is in prominence now, and she has lost the faith of her best friend, but she loves this fame and fortune, and she's to win back her friend's good graces. She's like, oh, I'm going to this party where your favorite rock icon is going to be, you should come. And she does. She shows, the friend shows up, and like their rift is sort of being settled between each other. Like they're on their way to becoming friends again.
Yeah.
And a really alarming scene that goes down.
It's
It's a very gratuitous rape scene, I would say.
Yeah, one of the worst that I've seen next to Last House on the Left, the new one. Although
Oh
I think,
right.
John, it's bad.
I
It's
know.
so for
I
context,
know.
just to let you all know, rape scene is in this movie and it's very violent.
It's very, very, very brutal. And I would say I wouldn't I would never want to see that in the movie ever again. Even
No.
if even if it had to be there for story reasons, I don't think it needed to be done.
We also have to take into consideration the time this was made. I get it, but also like,
Yeah. It
it's a
was a
very,
lot. It
it's a
was too
lot.
much. It was
It
too
truly is a
much.
lot.
It was
It's a
too
lot.
much.
It's a lot. It's a lot.
And a movie that's this high camp, and it shouldn't have been there. But
Yeah, because now why are you really bringing the drama? But they had to close the movie somehow.
yeah,
I
but
guess.
so her friend is hospitalized from the assault,
Yes.
and so the Elizabeth Berkley is visiting her in the hospital, and she was like, and then see she has influence now, so she was like, hey, Kyle MacLachlan, you can't give this rock star who brutalized my friend a residency. That's not cool and okay. And he was like, well, he's gonna do it, but he can like pay your friend like a bunch of money and she'll never have to work again. It's like fine, right? And she's like, it's not fine. And she spits in his face, and I'm pretty sure it was like a spout of water.
John, it was so good when she spit in his face. She's like, absolutely not. This is my friend. She was just raped by this monster who you're allowing to have a platform. I don't think so.
Yeah, so she basically just walks away from everything, but not before.
Before she gets so hot in that leopard print two-piece
Yeah,
set with
yeah.
her tall black boots and her high tight ponytail.
Uh-huh.
John, I'm not joking. I wanted to be her in that moment.
You know what she was giving, and this is what my thought on this thing. This is the end of the movie, by the way. And so like she um so before while she's confronting her boss, he calls her Pollyanna because he has found out her true identity.
Yep.
Her
And
name
who
is
she really is.
Pollyanna, and she is a former she was a sex worker as a
He
teenager.
has a lot of nerve, by the
Yeah,
way.
he's not a nice person.
No,
Not
he's terrible.
Yeah. And so she's not having any of it. So what I think is happening here, whenever she gets dressed up like this, I think she's giving him the Pollyanna experience.
I live for the Pollyanna. Pollyanna's also a hot name.
Yeah. so so she shows up to the rock star's penthouse, and she as in the guise of a sex worker. She's like, I'm gonna do this. This is like a trade thing. She goes in there all alone and she's playing it up, and he's like there to like do the goods. And she takes off her top, dyed red nipples.
I was loving it. I don't know why.
It is the craziest reveal.
It is an insane reveal, but you want to know what? It was like, I don't have time for pasties, girl. This is Kool-Aid. It came right out of the packet.
Yeah.
And then she kicks the ever living shit out of him.
Literally.
Topless.
Roundhousing, spinning to gain momentum on the stomp.
Right.
And it's like to camera, it was really intense. And I was like,
it was really cool. It was so cool in her boots. I was like, girl, work. Yes.
It was a really lovely payoff, I would say.
I would agree. And then she puts her top back on.
Yeah. He met Pollyanna. Nomi isn't here anymore.
No, Nomi can't come to the phone right now. Why? Because she's dead. Taylor Swift said that in one of her songs.
Yeah.
Same with Nomi.
Yeah, Nomi. It's he gets the full Pollyanna experience. And she just walks right out of there, and she's just like, he wanted to sleep, so don't disturb him. And then
and the guys are all laughing. You really put a number on him. They're so lame.
It's so lame. And so she walks away from Las Vegas, and she's hitchhiking, tits out.
Yep. And guess what? Guess who picks her up? Same guy from the beginning, and she's got her switchblade out again, and she's like,
he doesn't recognize her because she has her sunglasses on, and then she takes them off, and she's like, whoa.
So ridiculous.
He's so crazy.
So ridiculous.
How could you not recognize her?
Right. Well, she's like give me my
suitcase.
She is the tallest and hottest person he's probably ever picked up on the road, and he doesn't recognize her because she's wearing these tiny 90 sunglasses. Like, you can literally see her face behind those. They cover half a square inch. There's like, I don't know, 2 centimeters of sunglasses for all of you out there who use that.
Yeah. So use centimeters.
Yeah, who use it instead of inches,
right? So
who use the correct conversions, whereas we do not.
You should have just gone straight to millimeters.
Well, no, because
make it sound grander, like 150 millimeters.
I could have. Also, we're gonna have to do a Celsius and Fahrenheit conversion because John,
Celsius.
Oh yes, a Celsius to Fahrenheit conversion. Also, I love that you're plugging that. Hi, sponsor us, Celsius. We do love you.
If you're watching us on YouTube, actually, I'm holding an orange Celsius.
I only like the orange one. Sorry, that's it. Sorry.
You can email us.
Isn't that how Gilly says it?
Yeah, sorry. Gilly. So that's the movie. That's Showgirls. How do you feel?
How do I feel?
Yeah.
Well, I totally went into this thinking I was going to hate this movie.
Yeah.
I'm obsessed with this movie. I'm literally obsessed with this movie.
I think a lot of people agree that they are obsessed with the movie. I think a lot of people think. Yeah.
Okay. Let's get into it. I'm going to give my rating, and I'm going to have 2 different ratings. Okay. I have 2 ratings, but I'm going to give the objective version of this.
Okay.
From an objective standpoint, out of 10 dresses where your tits pop out of it during a comedy show at Cheetah's.
There's about 250 of those in here.
No, but the dress itself from the
the comedy queen.
Yeah, the comedy queen.
Yeah.
So there are so many different things we could pick from here, but out of 10 dresses rigged to have your tits pop out of, objectively, this movie's a 3. But out of 10, what is it? Out of 10 full conversations about eating dog chow, this movie's a 10. For me, in my opinion, because it falls in line. It gives me everything I want. This is Starship Troopers with tits.
It is Starship Troopers with tits, which already has tits in it.
It does, but not as many as this, because you can't, there's not a single scene in this movie that doesn't have a pair of boobs in it. So if you love boobs, this movie's for you.
Yeah, you know what? Nudity doesn't really faze me at all. So
no, I don't care one bit. I thought
like I can see the shock factor of the 90s. Like, but I mean, like whenever you don't fall within like a heteronormative experience in your life, like for some reason nudity and like norms like that sort of fall to the wayside.
No, and can I say this? I want to say this. Why are people shocked? This movie is literally about a stripper. It's NC-17. If I recall, the movie was NC-17 when it came out. What did you think you were going to watch?
Right. But I mean, I would.
Yo, the 90s mentality was so stupid and so backwards. I am so Gen X, Generation X, and the boomers now, you guys did this. And I'm going to say right now, I love you, Gen X. I do. But for real, like, what were you doing? Isn't this not what you wanted?
It's exactly what they wanted, but I think people were ashamed of wanting it.
This movie's so... I love this movie.
Yeah.
I mean, objectively, it's not. The story's crazy as hell, but
I have okay. So with that, yes. So I would say
yes, your turn.
I would say story wise, and I would also agree with you, but with the technical aspects of everything, this movie looks good.
It does look good.
It is masterful filmmaking from behind the camera. And also in front of the camera, like the sets are amazing. The lighting is so good. The framing, the photography, the hair, the makeup, the nails, actually. There's a whole close-up shot. It's a plot point.
Hold up. Nomi's hair with the gold in it?
Yeah.
Holy shit. John,
the wardrobe.
So amazing. Right. This movie is done. Oh, please keep going.
It's technically amazing, but I mean, but storytelling wise, it does fall real short.
It doesn't fall flat because there's not a single person in this movie that's flat.
No, definitely
not one.
Not
there's
one.
Not a full.
Not there's no. So I mean, I'm not even mad at the acting. I think because it was like
me either.
It was so over the top with her, like her exaggerated reactions to things. It's not Elizabeth Berkley being a bad actress. It's her making a choice.
I don't think she was a bad actress at all. There's not one bad thing.
She's consistent. Her characterizations are really consistent. And like there's moments where she has some real depth behind those eyes and moments. And like
I think so.
I think she did a phenomenal job in this movie.
Me too. I think everyone did. I was just going to say that. I think casting, they couldn't have picked anyone better for this movie.
Yeah, Gina Gershon is like deliciously villainous.
Oh, she is. And she's so gorgeous.
Yeah, it's just everybody did such an amazing job, but just like the story itself kind of ruins everything. But I don't know.
Justice for Showgirls, dude. Like, listen, we can do justice for Tanya later. This is just hashtag justice for Showgirls and justice for Elizabeth Berkley. Because, dude,
I don't understand why it ruined her career, but it did.
This should have catapulted her into another level.
Yeah, I'm so afraid about for Lily Rose Depp at this point too, because she's even in 2023 she's facing similar backlash for The Idol.
People will forget it fast enough.
She'll be fine.
I think she's going to be totally fine.
Because they almost can't look past the sexuality in the movie or the show, I think. But if you look past it, even while she's like doing the things that she's doing, Lily Rose Depp's acting is like really good.
People need to get over it. And here's what I was going to say. This is where we're going to make all of our money. So for all of you out here, I'm already saying this. This is our idea. Actually, it's not even our idea. This is what I'm going to say about this show or about this movie. This movie has the makings of an amazing HBO show.
Ooh.
If you were to break every single thing down and make this a story that continues, have specific parts of this movie be broken down into how you make maybe a four season series.
Yeah.
John, Showgirls works as TV. This would be incredible because
Well, it brings the melodrama.
it brings the melodrama. Now, had Elizabeth Berkley had this happened now, this would have made an amazing show because you have the drama from behind the scenes of the cutthroatness of being a showgirl. You have her being a stripper. I want to know more about her backstory, which is great. The
You have
Pollyanna backstory.
the Pollyanna past coming to creep up.
Okay. We also can dive deeper into the stories and relationships that she has with the guy who, for some reason, was like, I'm going to put you in your show. I want to know stories. This would make an incredible series.
Absolutely. And
this would make an incredible series. Just title it Showgirls. Give us the rest. And I want the same director.
It's an MGM property, you know?
John, this could make such a good series. I'd fully be on board for this.
Yeah, look, you know what? I'll notify my agent and manager and see if we can't work something out after the strike is done.
I'm not joking, John. For real, this is the moment. I was thinking about this after watching it. I was like, this has to be written in television.
Yeah. Yeah.
Has to.
Yeah.
I'll look into Berkley back, and guess who she can be? She can be Nomi's the lady who's there, who has her back, who's like, what you need to do is you need to find a man and you need to find a job. She's like, who'd you find? I chipped my tooth on a Quaalude. By the way, hilarious. I think that is so funny.
That's a line that happened so fast that like I was like, wait, what did she just say?
It's so funny. And it's so hilarious. And I love that actress. Bring Elizabeth Berkley back. Let her play that role,
because it like the last shot is of a Los Angeles 2,000 miles away, 200 miles away or whatever, and like so she's on her way to Los Angeles. So she has a life in Los Angeles, not dissimilar to Maxine, if you think about it,
John. And guess what? I already did think about it.
I did too. As soon as I saw that sign, I was like, wait a minute. Wait a minute.
That's what I'm saying. I think this movie had so much more influence on pop culture today than we really know.
We'll see what Maxine's going to bring, because like Ty West's Maxine to come is going to be probably very similar to this.
Right. And here's the thing too, is like, while this movie does have its flaws, I'm not joking. I love this movie. I'm not going to give what the critics think. I don't.
You can forgive a lot of that, because all of these choices, all of the things that are being perceived as like bad, those were intentionally done, knowing full well how they were going to play out on screen.
Right. I think this movie could be like a perfect movie for me,
because it's executed in a way that was completely thought of before. Everything was intentional. Even that crazy sex scene in the pool.
Right. I wouldn't change it either, and I wouldn't take it out. I can tell you this earnestly, I will be watching this movie again. I love the fashion. The story, yes, whatever. There's so much more to explore. There's so much more to explore. But I'm not giving the story faults either, because it's a full and complete story with elements that could have just been adjusted.
Yeah, it just needs to get there a lot sooner. It's a little too slow of a burn to get to the meat of the story, and it lingers on. Why. Yeah, and
that's why I think it makes good television.
Yeah, because you can like drag it out episode.
Because guess what? Give me a cliffhanger. Yeah, for every episode, I want to know what's
like
happening next.
In this episode, they only talk about Dog Chow and their love of it.
Right. But
are they talking about Dog Chow?
No, and we get to see all of the different, because listen, nightlife in Las Vegas, it's insane. The people are crazy. Imagine the places you could take this story. God, yeah. I actually would live for a Showgirls HBO adaptation, not Netflix. Yeah, we're doing HBO or Showtime. That's it.
You know what? Technically, it would probably, since it is an MGM property, it would go on Amazon, I think, because Amazon owns MGM now. Did you know that?
No, but honestly, cool. I mean, I think Amazon might have some good TV.
Yeah.
I don't really actually shop around Amazon for TV. Maybe I should.
Yeah, you know, no, I like the movies that they have on there.
But you know what? Whatever. John, bring Showgirls to Amazon. But you know what? That's crazy though. And I say that because I went on Amazon looking for this, and it wasn't even available to rent.
I know. It's on Pluto TV
And Tubi.
and
Girl,
Tubi, the bargain bins.
give me a break. Give
The
me a
bargain
break,
bins.
dude.
But
And it's free.
yeah, it's crazy because like
NC-17 free on Tubi. I'm like, dude, Tubi
children
came.
are going to be messed up. Oh my gosh.
Okay,
I mean,
so
children have too much of the world at their fingertips at this point in time, and
right.
in our day and age. But I mean, they put Showgirls, which I think is highly regarded as a cult classic, in the bargain bin.
It doesn't belong there. It doesn't belong there.
Crazy.
Okay, we'll talk to your agent when all of this is over because John, I am so serious, but
I will.
You better tell your agent, listen, I'm gonna have a ghostwriter.
Like, look, I will
I'm
do
bringing my friend
whatever
along
I
because
gotta
I'm
do.
helping. I have to help with this.
so stay tuned and the saga.
None of you bitches out there better try to steal this idea either. We've got it. This is ours.
All of our 60 downloaders, constant downloaders. I don't know.
All of you out
I'm
there.
inflating that number, I think. Yeah. Mm. Mm. That was very Gina Gershon of you.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind. But yeah, she a little as she would say, a little pain and a little surgery can take you a long way.
Yeah, it can.
That's a really good sage advice.
I hope it takes me somewhere someday.
Yeah. Would you ever do lip implants like she has?
No. Nope. I think I'm okay.
Yeah.
I might get a little bit of Botox in my forehead wrinkles, but I think that kind of would do it. I don't think I'm going to get my lips filled or nothing like that. I'm kind of just set with the face I have. This is what I look like.
And hop on over to the YouTube to see what Travis looks like.
Yep. But I'm not going to say do it if you want. I'm all for it. Do whatever you want to your own body. It's your body.
Yeah, I don't judge.
Me either. I love plastic surgery. I think people who are committed, fully committed, are my favorite people.
like Angeline.
Yeah, 100%.
Oh, by the way, Rotten Tomatoes. Can we just go there real quick?
Let's do the Rotten Tomatoes.
This is considered a queer movie, by the way. And I'm like,
is it? Yeah, it is.
Absolutely.
I totally get it. It feels queer.
Yeah, there's the gay tension between Elizabeth Banks.
Honestly, yeah, get her in this too.
Elizabeth Berkley and Gina Gershon, and they totally make out in the hospital.
They do, which is, I mean, if you're gonna make out with somebody, and she looks so good in that hospital bed, but that's neither here nor there. Okay, so what does Rotten Tomatoes have to say?
23%.
Oh,
whoa! And the audience score is slightly higher at 37%. And the critics' consensus is like probably the worst one I've ever read in my entire life, which is vile, contemptible, garish, and misogynistic. And that might just be exactly Showgirls' point.
So why would they give it such a low score? Because it actually is exactly that.
It's a statement. It's an observation. It is a study of that, especially in the 90s.
I agree. And guess what? They just weren't ready for it.
It's truly ahead of its time.
They didn't like being called out. And this movie is calling out all of these behaviors. And they don't like it.
No, they don't. And it's just like weird. And you know what? I wouldn't call it ahead of its time, because if this were to come out nowadays, seeing how people are reacting to the Idol in the media, it's so high and mighty. It's crazy. And I'm like, if this were to come out now, it would face similar backlash, because I don't have trust in people or audiences like ability to just like look past the sexuality and nudity of it all.
Right. You know, especially because it feels like as a country, we are reverting back to the 90s.
Absolutely.
Which is not cool. We're not here to go.
We're not a political podcast, but our rights are constantly under attack right now.
Yeah, and at risk, and it's really annoying. So for all of you out there, anyway, John, I just want to say I love this episode, and I love this movie. I don't love how hot it is here. Wherever you are, I hope you all are staying cool. It was 118 degrees yesterday.
No, it was not.
For all of you out there, is 47.7 Celsius. So I hope you all know what I had to, John, my car, it took so long to cool off. I thought I was going to die. Thought I was going to die in my car.
You're like, this is how I go. I can
This is
open
it.
the door and get out of this oven, but no.
I am now a broasted chicken.
Yeah, you are slightly overcooked.
I not even remotely cooked to the way you'd want, like burnt.
You like smell. You're like, is somebody having a barbecue? Oh
It's
wait,
me.
that's me.
It's me. It's all the salt coming out of my pores, cooking into me.
You're cured.
I was cured. I was cured ham. So I hope everyone out there is staying cool. I know it's hard to do right now. It's hot.
Yeah, the world
Just
is on
like this
fire.
Movie.
Oh, this movie is hot. It's muy caliente.
It is muy caliente.
Well, Travis, we did it again.
We did.
We did another episode. We talked about a movie. We talked about Showgirls. If you want to, we want to hear what you listeners and viewers and things would like us to watch. If we're not satisfying it, if we're not scratching an itch that you need to be itched, then you email us at meangirlsinterrupted@gmail.com. Tell us your thoughts and whatever.
Thoughts and prayers. Tell us your thoughts and prayers.
And hop on over to Instagram and at Mean Girls Interrupted, and we'll get to Threads eventually, probably.
I actually posted on Threads. I let everyone know we were doing this movie.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, that was our first post, and it was about Showgirls.
Nice. See, I'm so far behind already.
That's okay. I'll go on there every now and then. You don't have to go to Threads if you don't want. It's all up to you guys.
I just don't understand.
It's just Twitter. It's diet Twitter.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
it's Twitter without the porn. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, it's Twitter light. It's not. I'm like, oh no.
Yeah. Like the Disney version.
It is. It's Disney Twitter.
Ugh. Anyway, so with that, Travis, I'm gonna have to see you at the movies.
Roll the credits. You like, I don't know, somehow just the most strategically placed set of marbles to break someone's ankle. Showgirls.
Showgirls. Bye.
Bye bye.